MAGA is running scared. Right-wingers are terrified. Fox News is imploding. Trump is melting down because the Kamala Harris vice presidential pick of Tim Walz continues to show a contrast in energy, a contrast in policy knowledge, and a contrast in charisma that is very, very bad for the Trump-Vance ticket. I'm going to give you some examples from the last 24 hours. Here is former Trump strategist and propagandist Stephen Miller. He doesn't know what insults to throw at Walz. He's terrified.
This man is a moron. He is an incompetent. He is a radical. And he is going to turn the entire Midwest into a third world state. This is a disaster for America. We have to beat this guy, and we have to beat Harris in November.
Does anyone believe that? What are you talking about, dude? He even went further to say that the Midwest under Tim Walz will become Mogadishu. Aside from being painfully dumb, there's probably some xenophobic aspect to this, right?
He is the biggest booster in the whole country for unlimited refugee resettlement. That means under the Harris-Walz plan, they're going to turn the entire Midwest into Mogadishu. That's their plan. That's their policy. I don't think there's a market for that in the United States of America.
You know, I increasingly doubt whether there's a market for this type of dishonesty. Like, I'll be frank, they've always been this dishonest with the fear-mongering, but it's feeling like people aren't going to fall for it this time. It just doesn't seem like it's landing, because when you see Harris Walz go out there and deliver a positive message, positive speeches in Philadelphia outlining an aspirational vision for the country, and then Stephen Miller's talking about they're going to turn the Midwest into Mogadishu, I just question whether it's going to work. Kevin McCarthy, former Republican Speaker of the House, one of their favorite ad hominems is to say people are like Bernie Sanders. And here is what Kevin McCarthy had to say.
This is the most extreme. This is going from San Francisco to, here you go into Minnesota, the area that even Ronald Reagan could not win. I mean, this is what's so amazing to me. I served with Tim. We came into Congress together. He's known for being the Bernie Sanders of Congress.
All right. I mean, that doesn't sound too bad to me. Again, I don't know, the people that will hear Bernie and say, I'm out, are already not voting for Kamala Harris. So I just don't know that that's really going to move the needle. Let's briefly go back to Stephen Miller in another interview where he referred to Tim Walz as the Jack Kevorkian for America.
Look, what's happening here is very important to understand. This man, they call him Tampon Tim, is a full-blown radical left communist. He is left of Bernie Sanders. He is left of Rachel Maddow. He is left of Ilhan Omar. He is left of AOC. But the Democratic Party believes that if they wrap up those odious, insane policies, tampons for boys, castrating young children, open borders, unlimited refugee resettlement, they believe if they put this wrapper of Tim Walz on those policies with his fake, smug smile, his fake, phony, non-existent charm, that if they put that wrapper on it, that Americans will somehow vote to commit suicide. Tim Walz's job is to be the Jack Kevorkian for America. His job is to be the assisted suicide doctor, to lean over charmingly by the bedside of America and to give it a fatal injection.
I don't think this is landing. I want to hear from you. Is this stuff going to inspire anyone to go out and vote Trump? I struggle to see it. And then finally, you know that they're not doing well when Ben Shapiro seems to be this stressed out.
If you go back far enough, he was a high school football coach. And don't you know, he's a teacher and a high school football. He's basically Mr. Feeney, but more athletic. He's like Ed Asner, avuncular, moderate, just one of the boys. A guy who can crack a beer and can shoot a rifle, but is also really, really in favor of gun control and transing the kids. That's basically the pitch in favor of Tim Walz. So she does this routine. These rallies are incredibly well choreographed. I will say that. They are very well choreographed. She calls for a chant, and a chant goes up. First Democratic rally I've seen for a while where people start actually cheering USA. And why are they cheering USA? Because she says, what an amazing country this is. What an incredible country where a person like me middle-class person or Tim Walz middle-class person can become the president and vice president of the United States. Now, I agree with that, but she doesn't agree with that. She believes that America is systemically racist. So does Tim Walz.
They're in a panic. They are so scared, and reality is starting to sink in, that the message of Trump with the apocalyptic music and Trump complaining about how planes are stuck on the tarmac and never leave and all of this crazy stuff, it's not landing. The crowds leave while Trump speaks and sometimes sleep. Whereas the crowds here with Harris and Walz, after years of hearing how there was no energy and the Democratic candidates couldn't fill an arena, it has changed and they are in a panic. Now, I've deliberately not told you how Trump is reacting to all of this. Let's deal with that after this short break. Data brokers are constantly gathering vast amounts of information about your online activities, address, phone number, email, financial details, even political affiliations. Anyone, including your ex or your boss, can easily find your personal information on public data search sites. They sell this data to other companies, the FBI and NSA, even buy this data in bulk to monitor Americans without a warrant. These data set lists are also where scammers and spammers get your information to send, call, text, and email you. But you can stop them. Our sponsor, Incogni, sends data removal requests to data brokers who are legally required to comply. If any information stays online, Incogni will follow up and make sure that it's removed. And they keep you updated every step of the way so you will know when your data has been removed. Saves you hundreds of hours of work. Almost no one could do this on their own if you have any other responsibilities in your life. I use Incogni myself, and what they're able to accomplish and quickly is impressive. Go to incogni.com/Pacman and use the code Pacman for 60% off. The link is below.